Hello, hello, hello. I cannot believe 2022 is coming to an end, y'all. I'm excited to see how you guys are feeling about that. Oh, went from 1 to 5. Hello, everyone. Happy almost New Year. Thank you for joining today's. Can you guys hear me? Thank you for joining. I don't want my earrings to be bumping the AirPods though. Thank you for joining the last live stream of 2022. I'm really happy that I started doing this year and excited to take this into the new year. Okay. Happy New Year, Orlando. And hi, Paula. Basically, I wanted to put this live together. Happy New Year to you too. So we could talk about what we're leaving in 2022 and what we're bringing into 2023, because I feel like this has been a year of a lot of learning and growth across the board for all of us. So I'm curious what y'all are leaving behind. I kind of want to make a little list. And I always think it's really interesting hearing other people's resolutions and what they're bringing to the new year, what they're leaving behind, and take away what you need from other people's lists. So I thought we'd just close out 2022 strong. I guess I'll kick it off with a couple things that I would like to leave in 2022. And then I would love to read what you guys are feeling. The first thing, I really want to leave getting embarrassed about everything in 2022. I am sick. I've made a TikTok about this. I'm sick of being the type of person who gets embarrassed for everything. I don't want to be that person. I want to leave it in 2022. So that's probably the first thing on my list. Hi, Angela. I'm so excited to hear that you're going to Merida. I've heard wonderful things. I've heard it's beautiful. I know it's warm, very, very chill. It's like the safest place in Mexico. A lot of places are safe in Mexico, but I've heard that that's like the safest place. So you're gonna have a great time. Take lots of photos, make videos, capture the moments, but also obviously be as present as you can. But I'm excited for you. And hi, Angelique. Grand day to you as well. I saw you in Lily's video of what she's accomplished in 2022. Leaving behind confusion in relationships. Paula, that's probably the top of my list. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And what do they always say? If you're confused, that's your answer. If you're confused, then it's not for us, because when you know someone likes you, or when someone likes you, you know it's clear. And when you like someone, you make that very clear. I think every relationship I've ever had, it's been just confusion. So I'm gonna write that down. Leaving behind a confusion in relationships. Please. I'm just we all deserve clear communication, easy love, no more confusion. That's a great one. What else are you guys leaving behind in 2022? I'll share another thing I'm leaving behind while I wait for people to drop theirs in the comments. Another thing I want to leave behind is taking rejection as a sign that I have to prove that I'm worthy of someone's love and time. Like, rejection is just, what do they say in the this is a song, like, "Nobody wants you, you're free." I'm no longer viewing rejection as, like, a challenge to prove my worth. I'm leaving that I needed to leave that behind years ago, but I'm definitely leaving that behind in 2022, and I know that's a lot of ego and, like, but it's just so exhausting. Rejection is protection, absolutely. What is meant for you will not pass you by. Rejection is 1000% the universe's protection. Oh, wow, it's so funny you guys said that at the same time. Yeah, and really believing that, because 'cause I've said that for a while. I always, like, say it to my friends, but I have a hard time, um, accepting it, and I learned something. If you have ADHD, my friend said that there's something called rejection dysphoria. I need to look into it more, but apparently folks with ADHD struggle with rejection more than the average person, which I didn't realize because I struggle with it. So yeah, we're bringing rejection as protection into 2023, but leaving the rest behind. What else are we leaving in 2022? There's so much. There's so much. Um, I'm leaving my addiction to TikTok in 2022. That app has brought me so much joy, but I also feel like, and I saw someone say this on TikTok, and I was like, that I agree. Like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to accomplish the things I want in my life with the amount of time I spend on that app. It's sickening. It's sickening. I don't really even watch TV. That's my primary source of entertainment, but like, it's gotten out of control. Angelique said, I'm leaving behind the idea that I need to do things outside of the work I want to do. It feels very tied to the rejection idea leaving it in 2022, girl. Yes. Yes. I know it's hard, especially like in this capitalistic society. Like sometimes we have to do the things we don't want to do to survive, but I definitely think there's a balance and it doesn't have to consume our lives. And if you're fortunate enough to do the things that you love full time, that is like such a blessing. But I understand like it's kinda tough, especially if you live in, like, a more expensive city, like Los Angeles, you might have to juggle a couple things at a time. Did I say juggle? Juggle a couple things at a time, but it's possible, for sure. Angela says, "Leaving behind fear and bringing in boldness and courage in 2023." I love that, boldness and courage. We're bringing boldness and courage into 2023, absolutely. I have a question for artists or anyone out there watching this who has to, like, promote their work. I really, really struggle. Like, I love making the thing and putting the thing out there, but I struggle with, like, being proud of it and promoting it and showing other people that I'm proud of it. I feel like that's tied into boldness. I would love to know if anyone else struggles with that. I'm like, "Can I just own the thing I do and not worry what people think about me owning it?" Yeah, boldness and courage. Um, Rolando says, personally, I want to leave behind my impatience for reaching my language goals. I want to enjoy the journey without expectations. Absolutely. I can totally relate to this. And yeah, it's not about how fast you learn the language. Like every day you will learn something new. The more you practice, you will learn something new. But it's like not a race. And I totally understand this pressure when you move to a new place and maybe they don't speak your native language. So you want to like get adjusted and learn the language quickly, but I don't think it's anything to be like I understand being excited, but it's nothing to be discouraged about if you're not picking it up at a pace that you thought you should have or could have. Like I'm 2 years in and I still have a lot to learn about Spanish, and it really all comes down to like practicing in your day-to-day life, pushing through those nerves, but yeah, there's no time limit on this. And I think there's so much content out there that's like learn a language in 1 month, learn a language in 2 months, like it's I think some people's brains can do that. I think if you already know multiple languages, of course, it's gonna be easier for you, but that's not the standard, and you don't have to you don't have to. So, I'm excited for you to take your time. Don't be consumed by capitalism in 2023. That's what I think you absolutely. Capitalism, consumerism, materialism, leaving that behind. I really I met a friend here a couple months ago, and she's like, I haven't purchased a new thing since 2015. Like, as far as she owns a thrift store, but clothing and like anything that doesn't have to be replenished. She's like, I haven't bought a new thing. I was so inspired by that. Like, there are so many, everything that we need already exists, and there's no need to like consume more. Anyways, that was a little bit of a tangent, but yes, I'm with you, Angelique. Paula is leaving behind expectations and planning too far ahead, living in the moment and seeing where the universe takes me. Presence. We're bringing presence into 2023. There are so many times where like the desire to be prepared, like I'm sure we can all relate to this, has just taken me out of where I currently am. And it's just, that's not it. It's not it. I think there's a difference between like, you can be prepared and present and have an outline and idea of things you want to do, but you don't have to have every little detail in place. I've never believed that. Um, yeah. Angela, yes. Yeah. I think you're talking about when I said not feeling like proud enough to promote your stuff. You said, yo, that's me. It's so hard. It's not hard. Like, I think that stems from caring what other people think. If we can just release that and stop caring what people think, we'll be gravy. Um, leaving behind, Andrew is leaving behind the need to figure out every detail before taking action towards my goals. Yes, that has been like the biggest lesson as I'm creating this podcast, which launches on Sunday. But I want to get back to this. Like, there's no way for you to know. I mean, you can try to be as prepared as possible, but there are some things you simply will not know until you start. And yeah, and you can only improve through doing the work. So I completely agree with that. Um, also, I wanted to say something about my podcast. On Sunday, January 1st, I'm launching it's just an introductory episode. It's like 7 minutes long. I'm just talking about what the podcast is going to be about. And then Friday is the first episode with a guest. So I just wanted to say that because I know I've been talking about it a lot. But the first episode, I guess, is more of like an introduction and not like a full episode. So just wanted to make a note of that. Paula said, I'm planning on visiting CMX for the month of February and seeing if I want to call it home. How exciting! Wanted to ask if you do your own hair. Is there a braider out there? Girl, the day that I learn how to do my own hair is the day that I become unstoppable because I do not know how. Um, I'm going to send you a link to my braider right now. I found her through Instagram. She's been braiding my hair for the past 2 years. I will say, come with your braiding hair if you're trying to do box braids. Braids and makeup. Yeah, bring your own hair here. The hair that they have here, you'll see, is kind of like yarny. I feel like this isn't an accurate representation of her work. This is, but yeah, that's braids and makeup. But yeah, bring your own hair with you. Yes, in between, there's so much hyper consumption for what? I know. I know. This is my like struggle with like the internet right now is I totally understand that people have to secure their bag and I know that I'll be pushing products like soon again, but everybody's always telling you to buy something and it's like, do you need it? Do we need 5 million different types of blush? Do we need all these different creams? Do we need all these different types of bathing suits and clothes? Like it's really a lot. And yeah, it's just all the time. Leaving behind food addiction and gluttony in 2022. Girl, I literally last night was looking up like food hypnotist. I spend every minute of every day thinking about my next meal, thinking about the meal after that, thinking about snacks in between. I have such a like fear of being hungry that it never gets there because I'm always like thinking about food and it's super like consuming and distracting. I can totally relate to this. I'm always like, when can I eat next? Um, and I also think it's great to like enjoy food and like be excited about food. That's not the problem. I think it's like when it just consumes my mind. Um, yeah, planning too far ahead and being anxious about the future, we just can't control it as much as we want to believe we can. We can't. I will say, and I want to know if anyone can relate to this. Sometimes I feel like I'm on the way opposite side of the spectrum where I don't plan anything and I do everything last minute. And I don't believe that's great. Like I would like to have a little structure. um, but being worried about being worried and anxious about it is not where I want to be. I just like want to be in the middle. But I feel you. Sometimes I like don't plan and then I'm still anxious about it. So it's like finding the middle ground. Oh, I am a chronic, Paula said, I'm a chronic braid wearer. I've had these in like, I've been wearing braids since I discovered how much easier my life could be with braids. I have 4C hair. I love her, but I've never been someone who can do hair really well. And I felt like it was consuming so much of my life, thinking about my hair, doing my hair, taming my hair, styling it. And I was just over it the first time I had braids in my head, I was like, this is going to be my style forever. And 3 years later, I'm still wearing them. Um, Angeli said, have either of you tried fasting? It really helps to calibrate your relationship with food. I have tried fasting, and I think that fasting can be done. I have really mixed feelings about fasting. On one hand, I think it's really good to give your digestive system a break and not focus on food. On the other hand, I'm like, am I just like using this as an excuse to restrict myself? I don't know. Um, yeah. Oh, cool. She said, I fast for spiritual reasons mostly. Yeah, I know like fasting is a part of a lot of religions and spiritual practices. But yeah. Okay. So we talked about what we're leaving in 2022. What are we bringing into 2023? Um, what are some things I'm bringing into 2023? Mm, I don't know if you guys know Shameless Maya. Well, she's now just like Maya Washington, but she talked about there was a year in her life where she was just like absolutely shameless, promoted herself, put her stuff out there, like was just shameless about her art. I want to bring that energy into 2023. Like I would love to see what my life could look like if I spent a year just being absolutely shameless and doing my thing. Someone asked, have you gone hungry before, felt like you weren't allowed to eat as a child? Definitely know that my feelings related to food are rooted in childhood fear of being hungry. We always had like enough, but I definitely based how we were financially off of how our fridge looked. And I think that's why I have a lot of like feelings related to food. It's much deeper than that, but yes, I definitely just like have such a fear of like, oh my God, there's not gonna be food. Um, yeah. Um, Jelani says, I'm bringing joy into my life. Yeah. And before that, Paula said, I love Maya. Yeah, I think I love Maya too, but I thought something that she talked about that I think about all the time. I'm like, a year of being shameless could really just change your life. People now I think call it like being delusional, but I think like shameless is like I love that. So bringing that into 2023. But Johanny says, I'm bringing more joy into my life as you deserve. You deserve to live a joyous, full, happy life and leave people in 2022 who want to dim your joy, like who want to dim your light, who, I don't know, just want to bring you down. Or when they see you joyous, they like have to say something about it. Like, no, we're leaving you in 2022 as well. Ooh, this is a good one. Shanti said, I want to release myself from wanting to be busy all the time in 2023. I want to be okay with slowing down and feeling bored sometimes. Abso-freaking-lutely. I want you to listen to a song called Worth Ethic by Tony Jones. Listen to that song every day in the morning. The hustle culture and go, go, go message that they're pushing, pushing, that's not it. And like that, all of that busyness doesn't like equal success and happiness. We know this, but they have had us confused and convinced for a period of our lives that we had to be moving all the time, working towards making money all the time, like this appointment, that meeting, that job. We're leaving that in 2022. Yes. Um, yeah, I love Maya's energy as well. She's just like, I haven't actually watched her videos. I know that she posted one recently, but I just loved it. And she's so down to earth. I've met her a few times through work, and I actually like interviewed to work with her a while back. And she's just the coolest. She's the coolest and stunningly gorgeous. Paula said, I'm bringing in selfishness in 2023 in all the right ways. I need to make decisions based on what makes me happy, as you should. Like, people associate selfishness, and especially when it comes to women being selfish, as like bad and like we're shamed for putting ourselves first. Men are not shamed for that. Put yourself first. Yes, I support this wholeheartedly, and I want to bring this into 2023 as well, and like not feeling bad about it. Because then what's the point if you're going to do it and then feel guilty about putting yourself first? Like, nah. Mm-mm. Um, Angela said, besides boldness and courage, I'm bringing in confidence to show people who I am, to display my personality and not hold on to the lie that I'm shy or timid. Wait, you're preaching to my soul right now. I like sometimes think about if I've just like created this persona of being this like sort of like docile, quiet person because it's less intimidating and like more digestible. And I don't really believe that that's me, but that is, I also agree that that's like who I've presented myself as in person. And yeah, I feel you on that. Like, show 100% of who you are, and anyone who doesn't like you for who you are, leave them in the dust. I think that's where the fear comes from, at least for me and probably a lot of us. Like, we believe if we really show who we are, we're not going to get the job, we're not going to maintain the friendship, we're not going to gain the relationship. And it's like, so then you're going to spend time in those positions and relationships, like acting. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I feel you, girlfriend. Um, saying no more, like, and saying no without giving an explanation. Like, no is a full sentence, period. No. um, bringing more self discipline. I heard Evelyn from the internet say it's like, you're not lazy, you're not talented, you just don't have discipline. And my, I've never been able to stop thinking about it. I think that's like the missing pillar in my life is discipline. And I think that's the difference between a lot of people who make it and don't. They just are disciplined and show up even when they don't want to. So I agree. I'm actually gonna write that down too, self-discipline. It's like I love all of these things, but when it comes down to when it comes time when it comes time to write, like, okay, what do I want to bring into the new year? Sometimes I forget, so it's nice to see what everyone else is bringing in. Um, ooh, Lamaria said, I'm bringing a sober mind, a deep knowing that I am enough and am capable of all I dream of, and an open heart for new friendships. I think everyone should take this into 2023. I love this. Um, and I know that I talk about sobriety a lot. I am about 40 days, maybe a little over 40 days without alcohol. I go back and forth all the time. One thing I know for sure is like I love the feeling of being sober. I love not being hungover. I love not feeling shitty about my choices or actions when I was drunk. I love having energy. I love being in a good mental headspace. Like the pros of leaving alcohol behind outweigh the cons by a million. But like I think I'm struggling with and I'm totally fine doing it so like not drinking in social spaces. Um but I always talk about this like the dating part. Like that is so to sit across this person and not reach for a drink to like feel a little calmer, that has been the biggest challenge. Um yeah, but I feel you. I'm like, is alcohol staying in 2022 for me? It might. Um, oh, Paula said the new I Do by Tony Jones is also a bop. Why am I just now learning about this incredible artist? Like all of her music, it's changing my life. I didn't even realize that could be a genre of music, just like affirmation music. If you guys haven't heard of Tony Jones or listened to her music, put that on anytime you're feeling low. I like to start my day with it. She's she is like changing my life one lyric at a time. Oh, Mensa said, letting go of cringiness. Can we please leave this concept, this feeling in? I hate that this has become such a thing too. Like, that's cringy. Like, is it cringy because you just don't have the confidence to do it? Is it cringy because you're watching me do something that deep down you really want to do, but you're too worried about what other people think? I hate the concept of like something being cringy. I just hate it. And it really like shames people from living their truth because everyone's so afraid of being cringy, of being like corny. We're really being that in 2022. Angelique said, bringing in that Jordan energy. I got so passionate about that because I'm like, stop telling people they're cringy. It's hurtful and like it's something that we just made up. um, bring in that Jordan energy. Yes, creating a legacy roots in 2023, being bold, making moves, getting points, being excellent in my unique way, and loving every bit of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think like 2023 has to be the year that we just own who we are and we stop trying to like fit into these boxes and, like I said, be digestible. Just own it. Being who you are will get you so much further in life. Not that it's all about like success, but I have always believed the people that we look up to the most, we look up to them because they're just unapologetically being themselves. Oh, this is a good one. Hold on, I lost it. Hold on. Lamaria said, letting go of being humble and playing small, living paycheck to paycheck, and being a people pleaser, because that is not it. I feel you. Playing small, I think I've made a video about this. Like, I'm sick of playing small. I support you, and yeah, no need to be humble. Like, no. Brag, be loud, be proud. I also feel like being humble is something that people, not to make this about gender, but like people tell women, like, be humble, play small, like, keep quiet. No, we're not doing that. We're being loud and we're being proud. Mellow Vibe said, I'm focusing less on work. I went through major family loss this year and realized I was always busy with trying to establish my business instead of spending time with them. I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss. I love you, and I understand why that shift how you feel about work. I think it's a lot of times we have these like major life moments that really put things into perspective. And it's amazing that you're like you've taken something away from that experience. But it's also I don't want you to shame yourself because we live in a society that really requires a lot of work to survive. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself about that, but I understand wanting to like switch things up. Um, bringing in self-respect. Rolanda said, bringing in self-respect and opening myself to others. I love this. You deserve the most respect, and no one can. If you respect yourself, no one can disrespect you. I truly believe that. They can try, but you're like, you won't let it in. Self-respect, absolutely. I'm writing that down because I have been disrespecting myself this year. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. I've been disrespecting myself, but and opening myself to others. Yes. Let me tell you, I know I mentioned this on the last live, but there's a book called Calling in the One, if you meant in a romantic sense, that I really recommend. I'll leave it there. Um, okay. Someone said, let's go down. My word for the year is victory. I love that. Maybe we can share that next. People have been like, I've seen this and I've never thought about doing it, but having a theme, like a word for the new year. I love victory. That's a great one. Um, Angela said, like Tim Ross said about conversations, just having conversation and an effort for you and the other person to face forward on an issue. Um, why can't I read on an issue? So, girl, you was bold, you was fearless, you was confident. Yes, I'll write that on my mirror. I am bold, I am fearless, I'm confident. I also like really want to um like focus on my vision board more, like actually look at it. Um, I made one this year. Kind of will show you. Well, I have notifications all over my screen, but I made a vision board and I made it my screensaver because I made a digital one last year and I never looked at it. So, a reminder, if you're going to make a digital vision board, put it somewhere where you'll see it, whether that's the background on your computer, your phone, print it out, make sure it's available. Okay. Uh, Johnny said, I struggle with alcohol because I bartend. I'm always around it, and people always want to get a drink after work, which turns into several. It's such a part of the New York scene. I absolutely relate. I mean, I probably partied more since I moved to Mexico than I have in my entire life. It's such a huge part of the culture, which is why it's been so challenging to let it go because you don't want to miss out on experiences. Even if you don't want the alcohol itself, like it's at the center of a lot of things. And I know New York is very similar, so I completely understand. And like I really don't think there's anything wrong with having a couple every now and then. I know that I'm the type of person that's like once I get a couple in me, I'm trying to go, 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 which is my own problem. But it's like, I, yeah, I hear you. Um, Paige asks, what is the artist name? Love from Chicago. Sending love to Chicago. I hope that you're staying warm. And the artist name is Toni Jones, Toni Jones. Uh, just like all of her music. There's one I discovered recently. I mentioned the worth ethic, and then there's one called F Boys Are a Tool of Enlightenment. Blew my brains. So good. And also Energy Budget is my favorite song by her. That's the one I play literally every single day. Um, okay, beautiful chorus. Great to meditate or start your day off with. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Beautiful chorus. Merci. Okay, let's get back to what people are leaving. Letting go of the need to constantly be understood, period. Period. as long as you understand yourself, you know your intentions are pure, like you're clear on who you are, like if people don't want to understand you or make an effort to understand you, bye. Bye. Ooh, this is a big one. And I know a lot of people struggle with this. Angela said, not no longer letting fear of opposition from family hold me back from my dreams. I know this is like something that a lot of people struggle with, because you want your family to like support your dreams and approve of what you're doing and be proud of you. But I think as you get older and like you realize that maybe their opinions are going to change, you kind of have to let it go, and it's so tough. Um, but I agree that that's something that we have to let go of. Angeli said, "It's only cringe if you don't take full ownership. Other people's perception is a way too much of a pressure, and we never have control of it. It doesn't serve us to base our lives on other people." Absolutely. I mean, if you spend your entire life trying not to be cringe, and if you're taking everybody's like, thoughts and opinions about you into consideration, like you will never do anything because there will always be somebody who finds what you're doing cringe. There are people who find this cringe, but I'm gonna hop on here. I'm gonna talk my talk, and we're gonna have this live. But like, I realized that was like a huge thing holding me back, just trying not to be cringe to like the people I grew up with, or like because I worked in this space, I had such a fear of other creators seeing what I was doing and thinking I was cringe. And I realized it was just wasting my time worrying about that. Leave it. Leave it. Um, okay. Yeah. Paula said, I believe other people's cringiness is a self projection of what they are rejecting within themselves. Absolutely. I say this every time. If anyone has anything negative to say about what you're doing, it's just because there's something within them that believes that they want to do it and they believe they can't. So it's easier to tear you down and make fun of you than to acknowledge what they're rejecting within themselves. Um, Ramon said, glad I was able to make it to the live. Excited to see what you have in the works for this year. Thank you. I feel like so supported, and I don't know, I really look forward to this time. Um, like I said, my podcast is launching on the first. The first episode with a guest will be the following Friday. Excited for you guys to hear it. I wish I could share my screen. Can I? I don't know. Um, so you guys could see the cover art. Well, I guess it's not technically finished, but the cover art, I got the version back from the audio engineer of the intro. Um, and yeah, I have my intro song. Do you guys want to hear the intro song? Hold on.